All right, guys, I want to drop in with a quick tip on paddle tail design in Fusion 360. So let's hop in the computer. So what I have here today is I don't know, I found this somewhere in my archives of this little body here. And then I want to show like a bunch of different ways that you can connect paddle tails and how you create them in Fusion 360. When I lofted it, I didn't go all the way out to the end of my lure, which is obviously out here, where I've drawn my tail. And when I drew this tail, I added a bunch of extra parts in it that we're going to use to connect. You probably don't want to do this in the real world. You're going to pick one and stick to it, but we're here for demo. Okay, so the first thing we can do is we can create a loft, and then we just go from this back face, and then we can just choose the whole tail, right? Again, I got all these little extra bits. I'm going to select. And this is probably not what you want to do most of the time, I'm gonna guess. So you can, obviously how you fix that with the loft is we just use rails. And so I have some rails here. Still not looking great, but you could whip this into shape with a loft. I'll show you in a minute, if you want to do a whole tail connection, a better way to do it. All right, so let's get out of there. Get all of these guys out. Now, what you'll see a lot in like the Kitech swim baits and a lot of swim baits is this narrow connection in the middle. So let's do that one real quick. We're gonna select this, we're gonna select that, and that little bit. And then again, we're gonna use rails to control my shape. If you don't know how to use rails, go back, I'll link a video in the description that'll talk all about lofts and rails and how to use them to make baits. Tons of videos on it. Okay, now that looks a little bit better. We certainly have narrowness here and all that good stuff. Again, I could put a rail on this top side and make this even narrower, but this is gonna give me some pretty good action. All right, let's back out one more time. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the loft from there to just a straight up circle. And that's pretty straightforward. And I find this makes a really good tail connection. You get a lot of side-to-side motion and a lot of up and down motion in there as well. And you could of course put rails on this as well if you wanted to. So I'm going to go with the kind of skinny Kitech rail here real quick, and I'm going to show you how to do the next phase of this. Okay, so once you click OK, now we have still my sketch of the tail here. What I'm going to do is just hit the E key for extrude and extrude all of this out. The thickness is really up to you. I find, you kind of at least want about 2.5 millimeters. And there you go. You got your tail. We can go in there and put fillets on there and do whatever we want to. Super simple. Now, what if you want a slight angle to your tail? Which if you're 3D printing them, you probably do because you don't want this sitting parallel to the build plate. I'll show you how to do that real quick. We're just gonna go back into our extrude, and instead of a join, we're gonna select new body and click OK. All right, now we're just going to take the move copy command. We're gonna make sure it's on bodies. My selection is gonna be this body 7, which is my tail. I'm gonna come to the right view here, and we're just gonna grab this handle and tip it just a bit. Angle's up to you, bro. But you do wanna kind of make sure that you're still covering that back section and you still have a connection there. Click OK, and now I can combine them like we normally would with the combine command. Add your fillets, all that good stuff. Now I told you I was going to show you how to maybe make that large whole tail connection a little bit better. Let's go do that real quick. So we're just gonna go back in the timeline. Okay, now I'm going to move this tail. And we're gonna go back. I'm just gonna grab this arrow here. That means I'm not able to move it like up and down, side to side. It's gonna stick there. And let's just say 5 millimeters. These squares are 5 millimeters. And let's just go ahead and add our angle here. Right, and grab this. We want this semi in line there. Very good. Now, you guessed it. We're just going to do another loft between this face and this face. And now you get kind of a much more classic connection here. Let me show you one more trick you can do with this as well. So if I cancel that, I come in here, hit the F key for fillet. We put like a 1 millimeter fillet on there. Whatever floats your boat, bro. And then we do our loft again. Now the loft's gonna be contained into that kind of compressed area there, and you get an even cooler connection. Again, if you don't like this downside, you could probably use a rail. You could move this into a better spot, right? You kind of want the this flat section connected pretty even with that flat section. All right, let's see if that works better. Yeah, you can fiddle with that all day, bro. You do you. And then now you have kind of what I call a classic thumper tail. So I hope that was helpful to you guys. I'm gonna do more of these quick tips coming up with very specific little sections on tails and connections and all kinds of stuff. Take care, tight lines.